former Olympic star with an unbeaten pro record, enters the ring. This is Joel Casamayor, 1992 Olympic gold medalist at 119 pounds. He was favored to win that gold medal again in 1996, but defected from Cuba to the United States just a couple months before the Atlanta Games. You see the early pro record, 8 wins, no losses, 6 KOs, just as was the case with Vargas. 4 of those 6 knockouts have come in the first round. The fighters' records tonight are being brought to you by The Ring, the Bible of boxing. And across the ring from Casamayor, his opponent, the veteran Julio Gervacio. And just as was the case with Vargas, who went in against his toughest opponent so far, so too does Casamayor go in against the man who is clearly his toughest opponent so far. Gervacio has been in with some tough opponents. As you can see, he once held a junior featherweight crown. He's moved up a little bit in weight since then and is somewhat heavier than in the old days as he gets ready to go against Casamayor. Tail of the tape now between Joel Casamayor of Team Freedom, the Cuban defector group in Miami. 4-year age advantage for Casamayor and 1-inch height advantage against Gervacio. They weighed in at 131 pounds apiece, agreed to in the contract. 1-inch reach advantage for Gervacio. Remember that Casamayor is that rarity, a power-punching southpaw. Rules of the bout with Harold Letterman.
The Joel Casamayor Julio Gervacio fight is scheduled for 10 rounds. There is no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 10th and final round. Jim.
Thank you, Harold. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the pre-fight intros.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, by way of Caesars Atlantic City main events, along with your King of Beers Budweiser, present 10 rounds of boxing. This is in the junior lightweight division. The 3 judges at ringside scoring the bout, once again, Calvin Claxton, Larry Layton, and Paul Venti. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Tony Orlando. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red, white, and blue, and weighing in at 131 pounds. His professional record, 30 victories with 23 KOs to his credit, against 6 losses with 2 draws. From Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, here is Julio Gervacio. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the red trimmed with gold and also weighing 131 pounds. He captured Olympic gold in 1992 and now as a professional has a perfect record of 8-0 with 6 KOs. Representing Team Freedom, a native of Cuba, now living and fighting out of Miami, Florida, here is the undefeated Joel El Cepillo Casamayor.
Okay, gentlemen, you received my instructions, so let's have a good, clean, professional fight. Touch gloves, go back to your corner. Good luck.
Professional fight is the watchword. Casamayor seems to be the best that we have seen so far of the Cuban defectors, some of whom have never been able to overcome their long amateur careers. He himself has had 380 amateur fights.
Is that all?
Right, and at 26, the feeling among his handlers is that they want to move him much more quickly, say, than Vargas. Vargas is going to be on the slow road. He's going to be on the fast road.
Gervacio has been knocked out in his last 2 fights. Not a particularly good sign coming in against a hard puncher like Casamayor. There are 2 ways to look at Julio Gervacio as he comes in here. You can say that he's a veteran fighter with a lot of experience who should be able to give Casamayor trouble because of that, or that he's totally shot and therefore will be gone early.
Yeah, and I think he'll be gone early.
So far, it looks like the latter.
Most of the time, when you see these guys that have been around for a little while, they don't seem to show good balance. They can't take a punch anymore. It's not a good thing to see.
And his balance problem has been evident since the opening bell. He's teetering around in there on his pins.
And that really means that he's already taken a few too many punches.
Well, he's going to take some punches if Casamayor can get his own act going here, because Casamayor is a hard puncher and an accurate one.
Dave, David Reed, the middleweight who won that dramatic victory in Atlanta, fought a fighter with similar credentials last night, and an over-the-hill fighter who had held a title briefly, knocked him out in the first minute of the fight.
If Casamayor would come back with this left hand that he hit this guy with earlier, he'd knock him out in the first minute of this fight.
But Casamayor, more cautious than was Reed last night, who unloaded the right-hand shot in a hurry against Jorge Vaca, a fighter who once knocked out Mark Breland.
Yeah, but shortly afterwards, he was knocked out by a kid by the name of Roy Jones.
In one round.
So really, you know, you can't say a whole lot there. Casamayor will have to be a little bit more active because he's the better fighter. He's the fighter here that people are here to see. So he'll have to be a little bit more active if he's going to move quick.
He's offering a lot of respect to Gervacio, and it's hard to see why from what's happened here in the early going. Gervacio has been off balance and hasn't really been able to land. Kind of pawing forward with the right hand. Casamayor is staying well within his envelope and throwing one punch at a time.
Doesn't show the eye of the tiger wanting to